Hi everyone, today I'm going to explain the HTML, CSS and JavaScript of a Crumble Cookies webpage. I will go through it step by step so it's easy to understand. At the top in the head we have the meta charset, viewport and title. The charset ensures all characters display correctly and the viewport makes the page responsive of fonts, tablets and desktops. I also imported the Monserrat font for bold, stylish headings. In the body, the page has a header, video background, weekly cookies sections, a secret menu and a footer. The header includes the title, logo and navigation buttons. Flexbox arranges them in a row and the absolute positioning makes the header float over the video. Buttons have hover effects for interactive. The main text overlay sits on the top of the video with a semi-transparent background, rounded corners and a short message. It communicates a cookie notice while keeping the page visually appealing. The video itself autoplays is muted for browser compatibility and uses object width to fill the space without stretching. The weekly flower section shows cookie names, descriptions, buttons to order or favorite, and images that gently swing with CSS animation. The alternating image positions and the hover effects make the layout dynamic and engaging. There is also a secret menu styled like a black card with stars and the grazing text. It's hidden by default and provides a playful, exclusive feature. Clicking its button scrolls smoothly to that section using JavaScript. The footer includes links to the company, order page, support and social media icons. A final image gives usual closure to the page. For styling, I used Flexbox, absolute positioning, hover effects, rounded corners, gradient text, and CSS animations for movement. Buttons grow slightly on hover, and the secret menu scrolls smoothly, making the page interactive and fun. In short, this page is playful, modern, and visually attractive, with a header, video hero, weekly cookie section, secret menu, and footer. Hover effects, animations, and smooth scrolling make it engaging and perfect for a cookie brand. It was my first page, and my second page. At the top in the head we have the meta charset, viewport and the title, like in the first page. In the body the page is wrapped in a container div. This container sets the background color, width and height and keeps content from overflow. Inside it we have images, text, buttons and the product sections. The first main part is the menu section. It has navigation buttons, a title and a small description. Buttons are black with pink text and have hover effects. The big heading "We are turning another year sweeter" is positioned on top of background image, so it floats over it rather than pushing it down. This makes the hero section visually appealing. The hero background image fills the container nicely without stretching. Thanks to CSS, object fill over. The menu content is layered on top using the index. Next is the What's New section. It introduces new merchandise with bold text and the small arrows to show that the section scrolls horizontally. The horizontal scroll section shows multiple merchandise images in a row. Users can scroll through them, and each image has rounded corners and a hover shadow effect. This makes the product showcase interactive and dynamic. Below that is a product grid. It uses CSS grid to display products in a 3x3 layout. Each product has a main image, a hover image that appears on hover, and the name and price. This hover effect lets users see variations or details, making the page feel interactive and modern. At the bottom are two footers. The first is a full width images for branding, and the second contains links to company pages, support, and the social media icons for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest. Flexbox keeps everything aligned neatly. The page is responsive to media queries, adjusts the grid, button spacing, and the font size for screen 860 pixels wide, so it looks good on tablets or phones. For styling effects, images glow with shadows on hover, text appears over image using absolute positioning, and rounded corners give a modern look. Horizontal scrolling allows multiple items to be shown without cluttering the page. So in short, the page uses HTML and CSS only, no JavaScript. It was my second page. It's my third page. First, in the head of the page, we have the meta-charted viewport, like in the first and second page. Let's go to the body. Next is the body. The page has a green background and uses Flexbox to place elements side by side, with the form on the left and then image on the right. The gap between them is 150 pixels. Later media queries adjust the layout for tablets and phones. Inside the body, the main container is a white box with rounded corners and the padding. It contains the heading order now and a short description. And the form, the elements inside are arranged vertically using a flex direction column. The form itself has two files, each wrapped a flat set to create near border with rounded corners. The input files have no border, slight transparency, and a font size of 15 pixels. Placeholders show hints for the user first and the last name and the mobile phone number. There is also a small note below the button reminding users about terms and conditions and the privacy policy. This is common on order forms to make sure users are aware of the rules. On the right side of the page is an animated image for a phone with lemon. It swings back and forth using CSS keyframes, giving the page a dynamic, fun effect. The animation is continuous and adds a lively feel to the design. The page is fully responsive. Finally, a logo placed at the bottom of the form to give the page a finished branded look. It was my third page. Let's go to the fourth. First, we have a head section like a first, second, and third page. Let's go to the body. The page has a pink background and a background image of fonts. Flexbox is used to positions the form container of the right side. Padding moves content away from the edge and the background image does not repeat and positionally manually for layout. Inside the body, the main container is a white box with rounded corners. It contains the heading sign in, a short instruction, and the form itself. Flexbox with column direction arranges the elements vertically, and the padding inside the container creates space so the content doesn't feel cramped. The form has two files, each file is wrapped and file set to create a border with rounded corners. The input files have no default border, slight opacity, and the font size 15 pixels. The placeholder show hints in the user first and last name and the mobile phone number. The files are spaced evenly using Flexbox with a gap. Below the button, there is a small note reminding users about terms and the privacy policy. It's styling with reducing opacity, so it doesn't dominate the page, but it's still visible. At the bottom of the form, there is a logo image that gives the page a finished and branded look. CSS sets its width, border radius, and the margins to keep it aligned and clean. The page is fully responsive. Media queries adjust the container into files and the button width of screen up to 800 pixels. The background image resize and the responses and the buttons are centered on smaller screens. In theory, this page looks good on tablets and phones. Thank you for your attention.